Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video, we're going to talk about British Columbia. And one mayor is taking water scarcity very seriously. The mayor of Merritt up in British Columbia says that taps will be turned off if water rules are defied. This was April 24th, 2024. Yahoo News. This is Canadian news here. On the same date says Merritt imposes strict water limitations months early amid an extreme drought. So I actually learned about this because I listened to a little bit of Dane Wigington's Geoengineering Watch latest video, and we'll just play this little clip here.
Now let's swing the pendulum the other direction, the devastating drought part of the drought deluge scenario, again, hallmark of climate engineering operations. In historically wet British Columbia, new from CBC Canada, taps will be turned off if water rules are defied. That's pretty serious. Use too much water, you lose all of it. And another CBC article, BC's, British Columbia's spring snowpack is the lowest on record. How many in the U.S. even know about this? Further south, where
So yes, like Dane said, if you abuse the rules here, use too much water, then your water is just going to be turned off. Okay? And you know what? Americans can't figure out how to deal with their drought problem, but this would be it. They say somewhere in these articles, like, finding them doesn't do, right here, paying a fine doesn't really do much because people pay the fine and then continue with their bad behavior. So that's what happens. People just pay a fine and then they just continue to use water beyond the amount of water that's actually there to be used. So it says right here, extreme drought conditions and the likelihood of another challenging fire season have prompted a community in one of the driest parts of British Columbia to start managing its water supply early and turning off the taps for people who don't follow the rules. The city of Merritt has announced water restrictions that the mayor says wouldn't usually be considered until mid-July in an effort to conserve water ahead of the wildfire season and to get people in the habit of using less. And so right now they're just imposing level 3 watering restrictions, limiting lawn and garden watering to 2 times per week on designated days depending on numbered addresses. Hand watering and washing is allowed anytime. So doesn't that just kind of defeat the purpose? I mean, I don't know. So what are they saying, that when they're limiting it if you have big sprinkler systems set up on your lawn, but if you want to go out there and hand water it, you can just carry, water bucket after water bucket. I'm not sure, but the mayor said he's anxious about the months ahead, knowing the snowpack is the lowest ever recorded at this time of year. And they say that at about 200 kilometers northeast of Vancouver, they're facing a severe drought. And according to Agricultural Canada, okay, the agency describes river levels as significantly low. And we kind of have that right here in Montana right now, too. So he says starting at level 3, he hopes the city won't have to enact tougher restrictions in the year. But, the city draws water from 2 aquifers, one about 73 meters below ground and another about 152 meters below ground. With their aquifer, it's a guessing game because we really don't know how much is down there. And adding that the area is semi-desert. So they're going to err on the side of caution to make sure they have enough water to get through hotter times, because it does get hot out there. And in previous years, The city has fined people who haven't followed watering restrictions, but now officials say they plan to cut off homeowners' waters if they don't follow the rules. And breakers will be given a letter explaining how they flouted restrictions and asking them not to do it again before a shutoff is considered. So it's just not automatic. It'll be considered. I'm not sure who exactly gets to make the decision, but they say it's going to bring awareness and help everybody to conserve water. So it has to happen. Okay. Okay. Yes. Maybe you don't have flowers and, grass in your lawn this summer, but when you need water to drink and to bathe and to cook with, and you have a limited supply right here, water is a necessity. It's a need. It's not a privilege. It's a right. And they say if they're going to shut off the water, they don't think it's humanely. I don't think it's humanely right. Well, that's from this resident here, but at some point, if you don't pay attention to your water levels and you let everybody just drain the water beyond the amount that you have available, guess what? Everybody's water will eventually get shut off because there just won't be any water. And you know what? I mean, right now, it's I think their water restrictions are very minimal. I mean, what are they doing? They're just asking the people to just not water their lawns. I mean, the amount of water that people waste in their house every day is unbelievable. So it's making big headlines. And I personally, I am not a Nazi. I don't, I am not for the Greens' newest agenda and all the things that they're trying to shove down your throat because of climate change. Okay. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, when the wells run dry, then everybody's water is going to get shut off. And you just have to live responsibly. And right now, the only thing they're asking them is to sacrifice some lawns and some, plants. So people truly don't understand the consequences of this. And they won't until the taps run dry. And then they're, telling the government that they didn't do enough. That's the other side of this, okay? The wells run dry, and then all the people go up in arms because they knew water levels were low, but no one told them to not use it, I mean, people are very finicky. They want everything, and they don't ever want to be, be told that they just can't do something that they're accustomed to doing because they've just always done it, But they'll be the first people screaming the loudest the day they turn on their water tap and there isn't any water. Now, I went to their website, the town's website here, the town of Merritt, and it doesn't really have anything here. But, people, when you don't have water, you have to be very serious in how much you let people use water. This isn't a Nazi move, and actually more places should be this firm in how water can't be abused in places where there isn't water to go around. And I mean, this is so serious that Dane Wigington, who if you've been around here before, I mean, I encourage everybody to listen to Dane Wigington. I don't spend a lot of time because I know a lot of what he talks about, and he's just so intense and so scary. He talks deeper than high level things that I know, and it's very scary out there to the point where this got on Dane Wigington's radar. So people, it's not that hard to live responsibly, and it's not that hard to just use the amount of water that you need without abusing an equal amount every day. Whether your, town is running out of water right now or not, just being responsible and not letting the water run from the faucet directly down the drain. I mean, that it is not that hard. It is not hard at all to simply turn that water off when you're not using it. And we do just have to be responsible. I say kudos to this mayor because, yeah, people are going to criticize him, but they're also going to be banging down his door the day that the town doesn't have water. So we just really need to learn how to live responsibly, and people need to learn how to not be crybabies and just do their part. So stay tuned, people.